Okay, today we're going to learn how to read a recipe. Let's just say that you have a recipe with ingredients written down, but you do not know what the steps are to the recipe. Well, that's what we're going to look at today. So I've picked soups. I've done a recipe search in all recipes for soup, and we're going to take this one right here, this Italian sausage soup with tortellini. Might not be your favorite, but this is the one we're going to do for this. Looks pretty good. You can watch a video if you want. But first, you're going to have the ingredients. Now, in an online recipe, you can change the number of servings that you want. You can do it that way. Hit adjust, and it'll tell you exactly how many you want. But for this video, we're just going to go through how you would build this recipe, make this recipe with just the ingredients. So the ingredients here are a half pound of sweet Italian sausage with the casing removed, so basically a ground sausage, half a cup of chopped onions, 1 clove of minced garlic, 2.5 cups and a tablespoon of beef broth. I would just do the 2.5 cups. The 1 tablespoon, not really worth it. Quarter cup water, red wine, tomatoes, thinly sliced carrots, basil, oregano, half a can of 8 ounce, so 4 ounces of tomato sauce, 3/4 cup sliced zucchini, quarter pound of fresh tortellini, and a tablespoon of fresh parsley. Now, I also don't see salt and pepper on this, but we're going to start at the top. So typically, how these recipes are built is first step is at the top. So you have your half pound of sweet Italian sausage. That's going to be a raw sausage. So for this soup, you're going to have to cook it. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to get a pot, right? Because you're going to have you're building a soup, so you're going to have a gallon of soup or a half gallon or whatever. It's going to be a volume of soup. So you're going to take your Italian sausage and you're going to saute it. This is the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to cook this sausage. Um, we're going to build this in a single pot. So you cook your sausage until your sausage is done. You add your onions and cook down your onions. You soften your onions. The soup will not, as it's cooking, will not soften the onions. You want to make sure that you get your vegetables, especially the ones that are the base of the soup, soft, so they're edible. So you're gonna cook down your chopped onions. Could be a minute, could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's up to you when you're doing this. When you're doing a recipe like this, then you're gonna add your garlic. And the reason why you add your garlic later is the garlic will burn. It can't cook as long as the onion. The onions need longer to cook. So then you're gonna, cook your garlic until it starts to kind of perfume. You'll start smelling it cooking, and it'll kind of soften. You don't want to cook it till it's dark or brown. You just want to cook it until it starts to perfume. And then it says we have 2.5 cups of beef broth and the water and the red wine. So you're going to add this all at the same time. So this is going to be your volume of the soup. Now, in this recipe, they have down here at the bottom, so you have your peeled and seeded and chopped tomatoes. Those are large tomatoes. Third cup of thinly sliced carrots. So the reason why they're putting these carrots in afterwards is because without sauteing them first, is they want to have the texture of the carrot in the soup. So you're going to put these in later after you put in your liquids. So your liquids are going to be is what's cooking these carrots. You're going to have your fresh basil that you're going to put in. Basically, all of this will go in at the same time. Half a can of tomato sauce, your sliced zucchini, and your tortellini pasta. So this pasta will wait. So what you'll do is you'll bring this soup up to a boil at this point right here. You bring your soup up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and you're going to simmer this until your soup starts coming together. Your vegetables start to soften a little bit. Then you're going to add your tortellini pasta to cook, and at the very end, you're going to add your chopped parsley because you don't want this to overcook. You want this to be part of the texture and the flavor as well. So this will be done at the very end, and maybe even a garnish. So your pasta will overcook as well. You just want to heat it through That's why you wait until the end to put it in. And it'll probably be about a 5 minute in the simmering soup to get that tortellini pasta warm. If you look down at their directions, in a 5-quart Dutch oven, brown the sausage, and then now they're saying remove it and drain. I don't think that that's a good idea. I think leave that in because it adds a lot of flavor. Then you saute your onions and garlic in the drippings. Now they are saying to do them together is what this looks like, but again, I would go onions first because they take longer to cook, and then add your garlic. Then you stir in the beef broth, water, wine, tomatoes, and everything else. Bring to a boil, reduce the heat, and simmer for 30 minutes. Last step is to skim the fat and stir in the zucchini and the parsley. So they're waiting till the end for the zucchini. So that's one thing I missed there. Simmer for 30 minutes, add tortellini during the last 10 minutes. So basically you're simmering for an hour is what they're saying. So as you see, you just go down, start from the top and work your way down. And these, even if they're not put in steps, are basically steps because you're going to already know how to build your soup. And after you've made a few of these, you'll understand.